certainly quite a very important day for South Africa and China. We know that this year it's about 25 years of diplomatic ties between the two nations. But most importantly, we do know in August there'll be that all-important summit in South Africa for BRICS. But education, a very important tool in terms of empowerment for these two nations. Joining us now is Minister Motshekga. Minister, thank you so much indeed for your time. Quite a very important day, as once again you are cementing the ties using the education sphere.
No, thank you very much. For us, the BRICS relationships are very important. In many senses, for instance, we benchmark ourselves, as you could have seen from the polls, against other nations, see what are the things that they do, what are the things we can learn from them, but what are the things we can exchange. So these partnerships don't only end up with material donations. With this partnership, we've even been sending our teachers to visit schools in China, but also to get Chinese also to come to a country for also cultural exchanges. Going to BRICS is going to be very exciting because, again, we'll be engaging with India, we'll be engaging also with Brazil in particular. It's a country of serious interest for us as a real developing country. Big population, but almost at we've got lots of similarities with them.
And I would imagine, especially, Minister, because if you talk about innovation, if you talk about, the coding, something that you've always been talking about, these are some of the leading countries when it comes to the greatest invention. And I would imagine there'll be a lot of MOU signed to try and make sure that we learn, but also in terms of what South Africa has done from its side.
No, it's true. If you look at, especially, as I say, all these different BRICS countries have got something different to offer in the journey to really learning from each other. I mean, with Brazil, for instance, it's really how a system transforms itself and improves itself from the mud that or from the difficulties that they could have been. It's a different space. You go to India, it's also another different country. So there's everything to learn. The Chinese, what has been nice also with them, is that our exchanges with them have been much more deeper in terms of exchanges, in terms of direct one-to-one support, but also, as I say, exchanges that are happening between them. So it is, especially, as I say, all of them, I think, provide something different, which is very helpful and useful.
And just before I let you go, Ministers, SABC News, Mandarin in our schools, how's that program unfolding?
Fine, it's going well. You know what, it's strange, maybe kids enjoy that it sounds different. So they really like it. But also Chinese have been very innovative. They've been giving us lots of material. They've been bringing lots of experts, but have been inviting most of our teachers to China. They've been hosting events. So there is a very aggressive side into their introduction of the language, and that's why it has traction, it has momentum. It's just that we don't want to run it too fast because we have our own many other programs. But it really is strange enough. It's got traction, and schools that are offering Mandarin seem to enjoy it.
All right. Minister, thank you so much indeed for your time. Of course, the Minister for Basic Education. And of course, we know that this comes also in the wake of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation issuing that note in as far as the diplomatic immunities and privileges ahead of the Foreign Affairs Ministers Summit in Cape Town and later on for the BRICS Summit right here in Johannesburg. So there's a great deal of interest with regards to that. Khayelihle, Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.